project is part of the Falling for Turkey playlist. Kate just wanted to be cute. It's really just a fall-themed video, and more about it after the first project. 3 last-minute fall crafts. And we have a few Dollar Tree supplies here. The pumpkin with the florals on it, that greenish, pumpkinish looking thing there. Some wood ornaments, some stamps from Temu, a little love sign there. And this arrangement from Michael's that was normally $24.99, but I purchased after Christmas season last year for $2.49. And I just wanted to show off the paintbrushes that we rescued from the trash at a local thrift store. There's more than 50 paintbrushes here, some much nicer than I ever would have gotten for myself. I went through each and every one. 6 of them didn't make the cut, and I counted more than 50 that did. So project number 1, I'm calling Christmas to Fall Arrangement Transformation. This is the tag I'm going to hang off of the arrangement. And I'm tapping out some orange acrylic paint. And I'm going to add some Rust-Oleum linen white chalk paint till I like how it looks. And then I'm going to use my new to me paintbrush and water it down a little bit. I almost always water down my paints. And I'll go back and give it some dimension here in a little bit. First by adding a little bit of watery white, same white. And then some burnt umber acrylic paint along the edges. And then I used that same burnt umber paint on the back, and then I wiped the front and the back with a very damp baby wipe. And I wanted to get sort of a wash look more than a painted look. All right, so moving in close here, I'm going to show you the stamping process. I leave the stamp right on the plastic sheet that it comes on. I'm just going to be careful and press into the ink pad. And I only have 2 colors of ink, black and blue. So I'm using black. And I'm just being careful, using my finger to push it down. And I'm going to do it the same way to get the ink off. Just push it down. Try not to rock it. I don't want any extra ink on it. Just pushing down, rubbing it in the middle. And the reveal, not too bad. It did come out quite nice, especially from someone who doesn't really work with stamps very often. I'm going to put like a little lark's head knot through the hole in the pumpkin tag, and I'm going to set that aside while I destroy the arrangement. I'm just yanking all the branches out, the pine cones, and we're just sort of left with a hole in this styrofoam. It's really just a hunk of styrofoam with it's kind of like a foam wrap around it, and I'm not even going to try and cover it up. I'm not going to paint it. I'm not going to put more foam in there. I'm just going to poke the flowers in. This is my last sunflower of the season, so perfect timing. And I'm just going to go in and make it kind of wild. Putting in some of those yellow and orange berries. I got some of those tall leaves. I'm not even sure what you call them. Some eucalyptus leaves. Gosh, a whole bunch of them. I love how it looks, and better look at the final reveal. Okay, jumping in with a little more information about the playlist. Kate is the host. She does them every 3rd Friday of the month. Kiki is the co-host this month. Her channel name is Kiki DIYs. So she's a co-host. And her channel link and Kate's channel link will be in my description box below, as well as a link to the playlist. Sit back, relax, enjoy the rest of the video. Okay, project number 2 is a name tag pumpkin. We're using this Dollar Tree floral topped pumpkin, this like raw wood circular piece that I took the rope off, and a maple leaf shaped wood ornament. And I made a mistake there by putting, by putting the spackle on and trying to paint it when it was wet. In the future, I will do that ahead of time, because I did have trouble painting it and getting the coverage I wanted. And I just wanted to show you that it just calls this a pumpkin arrangement. So I thought I could maybe just pop the flowers off from the middle, but kind of made a bit of a mess there. But not to be deterred, I went ahead and painted the maple leaf tag with some linen white, chalk paint on the front, and some burnt umber on the back, and wiped it down with the baby white. Now I'm going to be using some letter stamps. And I don't know, like, I don't work with stamps very often, but these are not hardly sticky at all. So I decided to do each letter individually. Now, if I had laid it out and checked, I would have realized I needed to start way on the left side, because it's going to go all the way to the right. But I was just kind of winging it. And it does barely fit all the way across. I'm just using a little pair of tweezers, setting it down, picking it up with the tweezers, and pushing it onto the tag. Alright, so then I realized I could either paint it and do it again, or just put a little shoestring bow off to one side to kind of balance it out, and that's what I did. And I'm showing you that weird glaze on this pumpkin that kind of dripped it down. It looks like they applied the glaze upside down. So I'm standing it to try and get rid of some of that obvious glaze, because it wasn't a good look. All right, so I did my best, and then I thought, you know, the pumpkin is very lightweight, so I went ahead and hot glued it to that wood piece there, and it made it easier to work with. Went ahead and distressed it with the burnt umber, acrylic paint, and one of my new paint brushes. And then I wipe it down a little bit with a piece of paper towel. Then I saved one of the leaves. There were two. I liked the color of one of them, and it had a hole in it, so it was perfect to just put the stem of the flower through the hole in the leaf and then put them both onto the top of the pumpkin. And then using my heat gun to flatten out the leaf. That is a great tip that a lot of YouTube creators are doing, and wow, it works fantastically. I love it. Once it's nice and flat, just putting some hot glue on the back. And I'm going to just poke it in there. Now I'm just going to make a loop from some twine and push the loop through, kind of like a lark's head knot or a loop knot. And I'm just going to tie it around the flower and hide the knot underneath. I did put a little dab of hot glue under the lace so it didn't move around too much. And I thought this could be like on a Thanksgiving table, to denote who sits in that spot, so each person could have their own pumpkin. Better looks at the final reveal. Project number 3, Love Pumpkin. So this is a green pumpkin that I got at Dollar Tree, and the point of this video was sort of like, you know, the season's almost over and there's hardly anything left to craft with, so I'm going to craft with these random pumpkins and arrangements and random supplies. These flowers came from Lowe's during the Valentine's season. I snipped one off and some of the baby's breath. They are like a dowel with a faux flower on the end, and I'm not quite sure what the flowers are made of. They're a little bit squishy, so maybe like some kind of foam, but they're quite unique and perfect for this pumpkin. So I painted the whole pumpkin white at first, the Rust-Oleum Linen White chalk paint, and then I came in with the crimson chalk paint in, I think that's from White Really. Got that all dried up. I sort of wanted a pink undertone to this pumpkin because of the flower that's going to be on top of it. So I did come up with a pink tone from painting the red over the white when it was still wet. But now it's all dried up. And I'm coming in with some orange acrylic paint. And this pumpkin has a really cool orange color. And when you see all the projects together, you can see the difference between this orange color and the other ones. I'm doing a little distress now with some watered down white chalk paint. And I'm just using the paint that's, you know, on the lid of the paint can. And I want to do some spotting. And that was the real audio. First time I've used a fan brush to do some spotting, and got a little bit too much there at first. But I get the hang of it. Linda at Faith Chick does this a lot. I'm coming in with some gray as well. Because, you know, I've been reading about AI, artificial intelligence. And one of the things they're saying is the difference between real and artificial is that the artificial is actually too perfect. So we're making our pumpkin imperfect. And, you know, I had to leave the white there. It was just there. And even when I wiped it, it wasn't coming off. And I figured the flower is going to be covered in it anyway. So, using some hot glue. And I chose one of these pale, peachy, off-white, creamy leaf. And some of the baby's breath. And that's it. It looks like real baby's breath that's been dyed. That was with the red flowers. So I pulled some off, and I'm hot gluing that as well. And then finishing things off with the flower. And that's my new hot glue gun I'm using, and I really like it. It only takes 15 seconds to heat up, and then if you leave it for a couple minutes, it turns off like right away, because that was a trouble I was having with my other one. I just kept leaving it on for like days and days, and it just like completely got messed up. All right, so I wanted a tag on this one that said "Fall in Love." I thought perfect to end the fall season, but I tried hand lettering it, and I hated it. Like, I super hated it. So I'm like, I can't hand letter, but this is a cute little wood sign from Dollar Tree. And it works. Better looks at the final reveal. Don't forget to subscribe and give me a big thumbs up. See you soon.